Alright, this is a quick video on me trying to repair the armband area of my AT Pro, Garrett AT Pro. As you can see, this part snapped off right here. This, in my opinion, is terrible design. Since you got two holes in your bar, you should have made two holes on either side here, so when you do position it, you can have two bolts going through these holes. One is just obviously not enough, and this is a very common problem. Whoever designed this at Garrett, or designed it for Garrett, they need to find somebody else because they're not very good at what they do. You have these injection mold spots right here. Would have been where they have the plastic, it's either gates they're at or whatever. They should have made these holes in the plastic. They actually made this hole go all the way through, so why not put a bolt down through it instead? I just don't understand. It's really just a terrible design. So what my plan is I'm going to put a hole through the cushion on here, bring a bolt down through this hole. I'll take this off because obviously this is broken now, it's no good. Move this thing. We have a bigger bolt. We have a bigger bolt that will actually fit right through there. So that's already improvement number one. They used a bolt way too small for the hole they actually had, so that makes it so that that part can actually move around inside the thing, which can lead to more flex and more braking. Just overall, just really poor design. So we'll feed that through. It'll fit through this hole as well. See, once again, just wrong parts, wrong design. You can feel the adhesive from the cushion on the bottom, so we'll poke that through, put the bolt through this side. It should leave it lower than the surface of this cushion, and I wouldn't even be surprised if there's an indentation in here underneath here that'll allow that head to go in, even set down even better in there. So we'll line up our parts here, our washers and nuts. That's no good. We can still keep this. Should be able to use that because once again, look, the hole's bigger. Yeah. So let's gently poke up through there. Put our bolt down in there. Probably could come in here with an X-Acto and maybe cut away this. Might be a little bit better. But for now, we're just going to test to see if it works. So we're going to flip this over. I'm going to have to refocus here. Okay, refocused, repositioned. Okay. Oops, got that upside down. Let's do this the right way. To be honest, there should also be something filling in this hole too. That's what this originally did, was kind of fill in the hole. But I don't have anything, of course, on hand to do that. I could maybe try and remove this from it. In fact, why don't we give that a try? See if we can remove it the rest of the way. That'd give a little bit of a space filler in there. Oop. Why away? No, not gonna work. We'll just go with it the way it is right now. Put that on there. I'll put this on there just because it was on there before. I don't really need it. Put that on there. Tighten it up. Alright, sorry, back. I had to figure out where I put my screwdriver at. Okay. Looks pretty good there. She's on there nice and tight actually. As you can see, the screw definitely below the surface there. I'm not going to notice it with my arm at all, especially with my big arm. Should work pretty darn good. Now, do we want to put the second hole in? That's the question. Let's recap and explain why this actually failed. This right here is the culprit. They wanted to put the bolt in from the bottom, like that. All your tension was of course right here because of where the armband's mounted at, right underneath this point. All your torsion and everything's right at that point. It's going to break right there because of all the tension on it. Now, how could you have prevented that? Having this stud or bolt go all the way through the part. But I can see why they didn't want to do that, because they wanted to put in this nice foam pad here. My design is what they should have done. Could have still had this little plastic piece nub in here. Just don't put the stupid threaded insert in there. And a nut on the other side like I did. May have had to put a hole in the foam, but I think users would have rather had that than have it break on them like this. So this cost extra money to do this and makes the product weaker. And there you go. So there's how to improve your product. In fact, if you want to make it even a little bit better, you could put 2 more holes here. So depending where you're at, you're going to put a bolt through either hole on the part. So there you go, free tips on how to improve your product, no charge, Garrett.